All right. My name is Matthew Lee, and I'm a developer at Deep Fork Technology with Warren. I'm a self-taught developer, um, and I'm going to be talking about why the advice you get when searching for your first dev job is always the same. So, a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm a self-taught developer. Uh, I started learning C Sharp, joined Techlahoma, uh, learned a ton. And if you're not in the Techlahoma Slack or you just randomly found this Twitch stream or you're thinking about becoming involved, just do it because you will learn so much that it's just going to be insanely helpful in your career. Um, so I started learning in August of last year. So it's been a little over a year since I started learning. Um, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it a lot. So who will benefit from this talk I'm about to give? Anybody that's worried that they may not be hireable for whatever reason, not having a degree, uh, not feeling like they're quote unquote good enough. So, two things that you keep hearing over and over and over again whenever you're trying to get advice and trying to figure out what you need to do to get into the industry. The first thing is networking is important. You keep hearing things like talk to as many people as possible, get on LinkedIn, start posting on LinkedIn, post projects, demo things. And that's a huge part of it for sure. And I'll be going over why that's important. And then build a portfolio, showcase your projects, uh, stay active, and keep doing things because it looks really good on you. So I like stories, and I'm going to try to keep this short because anybody who knows me knows that whenever I'm telling a story, 5 minutes turns into 15 minutes. So this is John. John is a senior developer at a company, and John is also a hiring manager. So what happens is John's team is behind for whatever reason and they need to bring on more people, or maybe they're just expanding and want more people. Doesn't matter, but John has a lot of work to do and he's told he needs to hire another developer. Well, John doesn't like the process of hiring. Um, so he's kind of upset about this because he has a lot of things to do. And now he realizes he has to go through a ton of resumes. He has to make sure he picks the right person. He has to make sure it's worth it for the company, et cetera, et cetera. But then Mark comes up to him and says, "Oh, hey, I know somebody who's looking for their first dev job. Is that something that we could do? Should I have them send in their resume? Should I have them apply?" And spoiler alert, in this situation, that should be you. You should be on LinkedIn talking with people. And then Mark here would say, I know this person, i.e., you, and that's a way to get your foot in the door. So then John looks at the resumes of you plus whoever else applied or whoever else they're looking at, and they look the same. You're both junior developers without any professional experience, and you have some projects, et cetera, et cetera. And so John doesn't know who to pick in this situation. So he does the next thing and he goes and he looks at their portfolios. And you on the left here would have a great portfolio because you started coding at the end of August, early September, and the other person doesn't have one, which doesn't look good. So if you were John in this situation, who would you hire? Because I would definitely be hiring the person who was not only recommended, but had projects showcasing what they can do. So here's some tips to help you get started with that. Uh, Join Techlahoma Slack. Like I said, super important. You'll learn a lot. There are a ton of different channels. So, for example, if you've been working with JavaScript and you want to start doing Python, there are a ton of great people in there who will be willing to help you out. Uh, we talk about Advent of Code, which is huge, and I believe Emily mentioned it. Uh, we're doing that on Thursdays, and you should totally join because it's fun. You should also create a LinkedIn. Uh, I'm personally not the biggest fan of LinkedIn because it's like a social network thing, and I don't really do that, but it's really important to have. And then keep working on those simple projects, calculator. Um, I think checkers is another one that people say. Tic tac toe is even easier than checkers, and I'd probably do that first. Update them, learn to use source control, Git. If you don't know how to do those things, refer to Techlahoma's Slack, ask somebody, they'll point you to the right resources. Connect with people, ask questions. Any of these speakers, you can go to their LinkedIn and add them and ask them what they did in their career. You can talk to people on Slack once again and connect with them to see what they've done. And then give lightning talks like this one. Just speak to whoever the organizers are. Emily, I don't think Kimberly does it much anymore, but she can definitely point you in the right direction. I could probably help point you in the right direction if you need it. And then a little bit of shameless self promotion. Go ahead and add me on LinkedIn and then send me a message saying, "Hey, I enjoyed your talk." Make me, boost my ego a little bit and then start asking things about development, and then I'll know who you are. And then if somebody says, "Hey, I need to hire somebody for my company," I'll think, "Oh, you messaged me. I'll recommend you." All right, and that is all I have for you. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, ask me questions.